sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur. Femur.
We make money now?
No, we had to pay
So
them.
this episode, it's just too slippery. I'm slicing everything.
Every time I swing my 5-iron, it goes up that guy's ass.
Welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast. Here's your host, Jim and Foo.
Hey,
Well,
Oh my God.
What?
82?
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
I have to look, don't I?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sad Dads Club podcast.
Organized as usual.
I'm your co-host, the Lord Foo. He's your other co-host.
Jim.
There we go. This is episode
We don't know yet.
80. And if you didn't understand it, that's okay because we didn't either.
We're not on it. We're not on it right now. But I'll tell you momentarily. 82.
82.
I don't know how you can remember that because I can't remember that from week to week.
Turns out, probably too old to be president.
Oh, 82?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Sad Dads Club podcast.
Yeah.
And
This is our painting show.
we're rolling into it.
Get it?
Yeah, you got it.
You did.
Yeah, dad
Roller.
joke.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I was dying yesterday, literally. I was in my house by myself, just dying at that thread in the Hangouts with the memes. Did you go back
yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was just I was killing myself. I don't know if anyone else was laughing, but I was fucking
Oh yeah. It was good stuff.
I was in tears. I was laughing so hard by myself and just pumping out little memes.
You know what's funny is I was looking for and that whole thing got started because Sarah, hashtag hi Sarah, Sarah was looking for a meme app. And it turns out she wasn't really making memes. She was making motivational posters.
More motivational poster than
She's
meme,
like that, the stuff that you hang on your office that's like, you can do it. The little cat with the paw that's hanging in there. It's like,
hang in there, pal.
Hang in there, buddy. Like, that's not meme per se. That's motivational. That's what she was going. She had some really good pictures and really good ideas, but I'm like,
mental health care professional trying to make sort of shareable, like positive reinforcement type things that they were calling memes, but I'm not sure.
And then I'm like, guys, check out this Drake meme. This is what we got. This is how we roll.
Yeah.
And then looking for, man, because I've been looking for, and you have to remember this. You were in that hangout when Mike got his spinal fusion. Hashtag hi Mike.
Oh yeah.
When he got his spinal fusion done, he had that picture of himself in the hospital gown.
Right.
And I can't remember if it was him or if it was Christy via him who said, Mike says, meme the shit out of this.
Oh, I do remember
and
that.
in the hangout, so she posted the raw picture, and we went nuts. I think there were 30 plus memes of him in that hospital gown. And then it had to have been Jenna, because she's the hashtag hi Jenna. She's the historian for the group.
Yeah.
She compiled like a folder. I could not find that.
Oh.
I've been looking for that for years.
Did you ask her about it?
No, I ended up just going into Google Photos and just scrolling back, and I just kind of I'm like, it's 2014, 2015-ish.
I don't think I knew Mike that well then. So
But you had some.
Did I?
Yeah, you cranked out a couple.
It
had to do something like, there were a couple like, but who removed the back from my gown? Like,
of course it's open.
Is that my anus? I can feel a draft.
Oh, no, that's not my anus. That's just my gown's open.
Oh, wow. Wow, doctor, I'm here for a spinal fusion, but you've got something back there.
I don't remember making any memes for that, but I assume I did. But
yes,
I don't know that I knew Mike as well.
And
I definitely didn't know him as well then.
They were all hilarious. That was the best part. I'm like, man, this is quality. This is like right up our alley.
Well, we did that quite a bit in the Gold Country hangout too.
Yes,
there were days where just shitloads of pictures were getting posted.
Yes. A lot of it had to do with like Donna and beer. There were a number of like Donna and like, hey Donna, check out my beers. Like babies, drunk babies, and pictures of fucking.
Yeah, you're asking. I
was laughing more at like going through.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow,
all these old.
Jesus. I had a funny fucking something for just about every scenario. I'm like, whoa, Jesus.
Yeah.
And a lot of IITC ingress draws.
Oh, yeah.
Like, go here.
Tons of them.
Tons of like calm snippets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
You got a little problem there, Foo.
We were hardcore for a while.
Yeah, for a
while.
Hashtag hardcore understatement.
Okay, now I made the comment that I was more happy not playing, or I mean,
I don't miss it. It was something along the lines of I don't miss it.
Yeah, and you were like, "Fucker, that's how we hung out."
I'm like,
whatever.
Yeah, I love playing with you, bitch.
Well, no. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, fuck everybody. I didn't.
No,
yeah. It was more. I would more rather be doing the hanging out part. We would go to the park, and I'd be the guy not playing the game
Shooting
while
shit.
everyone else was like hacking shit or whatever. And I'd rather just be hanging out, shooting the shit than playing.
Getting drunk, watching toast dry heave into a trash can.
Yeah, there were some good times there. When it's 2:00 in the morning and you're hanging out at a playground at a park.
Yeah. Well, you
drinking,
can't do that shit now. You get the Rona.
Drinking Knob Creek. I mean, what the hell? I look back at that and go, what were we doing?
Yeah. How bizarre is that?
Yeah.
You're like, hi.
It was Saturday.
I'm 40-something years old. It's 1 a.m. I'm at the back in a playground that's got gates for safety, and I'm drinking whiskey out of solo cups.
Shooting the shit and drinking whiskey.
Yeah. Playing a video game.
Yeah.
Good times.
That was. I enjoyed all that stuff. For sure. Kind of miss that. I miss what I miss about playing Ingress is the just general meetups and hangouts that you just had of meeting up with people that were just out playing. You could like meet up and bullshit for 35 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. It was a good social catalyst.
Yeah.
Certainly a conversation starter.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good way to get you out of the house. I don't
for sure
do that much. Well, I was over at Chuck's or Venus's dad's, and I drove the RS, and you drove the little thing. You getting out much? I'm like, not really. Not really. I mean, we got this.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
I go to Rayleigh's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, really.
I
did go and pick up dinner tonight.
What'd you get?
Taco Bell. Taco Bell Wednesdays.
Taco Wednesdays?
Well, we always are running short on time on record night.
Yeah.
Normally when I'm commuting, I get home and then it's like we always seem to be rushing to get, so dinner is like a quick Taco Bell. Usually we go.
That's why I just starve myself before the show.
If I if I did that, I would be a wreck throughout the whole show. It would be a different show, I think.
Like a blood sugar thing?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, and I think the hangries would kick in or whatever.
Oh, really?
So instead of being positive guy Jim that
I
typically tend to be.
Hey, Jay, this story is kind of boring, and you're a dick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Have a Snickers, dickhead.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it would go down. We were... Speaking of that, we were in...
Whoa.
Well, no. No, not that.
That was 6 feet, buddy.
No, speaking of low blood sugar, we were... it was... I don't know. Couple months ago, we were down in Southern California hanging out with Melanie. And we went to go to Malibu to go to this specific beach that she could go to for a class.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what happened because I swear I ate or whatever, but... On the way there, we were getting hungry, and I was driving, and the drive took a little longer than we expected, and I was like, oh, we should stop and eat, so let's stop and eat. And by the time we got to the restaurant, like my hands were...
Really?
Yeah. I was like feeling shitty. My hands were shaking. I was like, it was all I could do just to fucking read the menu at the place we were at. To like figure out what I wanted to order and hurry the fuck up to the table and take our... I was like losing it. That was really weird.
But, I can't say that I have anything like that, but Venus, you can tell when Venus needs to eat. She
careful.
gets
Careful.
She almost looks like she gets sick.
Oh.
Like a migraine. Like it becomes real easy for her to just get just to take her out. Like if she doesn't, and it's not always, but you can tell when she's probably. I think fasting is too aggressive of a word, but she went too long between a meal, or she went short on a meal, or the timing was off, because she'll wake up and you could tell you could see it.
Yeah.
She's just not right until she gets something
in her.
Yeah.
Or as we say around our house, put a waffle in her.
Yeah, usually it's applesauce, but yeah, and that doesn't even, sometimes it's like it won't stem the slide. Like the migraine for her it'll be too much, and she'll be, it'll take her out for a good half a day until she gets like the food. Yeah,
the food recovery.
Yeah, I wonder if either of the kids will have something like that. I can't say I've seen that in Piper, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, that was weird. And then like we ate, and like maybe 2/3 or so of the way through the meal, I started getting, and it was like it would just start calming down.
Do you have any like dietary things that you know of?
Not that I know of.
No.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't happen all the time. It's just every on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was weird. I was like, I got all jittery. I mean, that's happened before, but it's very uncommon.
What did you end up eating?
I don't know. We went.
Does anything fix
like
it, or
brunchy.
is like something? Do you
just
need
food? I just need some food.
Something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really weird. So what day are we? It's Wednesday. I know that, but I mean, what day are we in our social distancing shelter?
I think Venus said we are our 30 days. We hit a month.
That's where we're at. 4 weeks.
Yeah,
we've already done 4 weeks. In
March.
Or are you talking about my 3 weeks in and your 4 weeks in because of the kids were home?
I think school was early mid-teens March. So we're almost like a full, we're almost a good, maybe going into the tail end of 3 weeks, almost the fourth week.
So that would have been the same for Shanna.
Yes.
She would have been home too. And then I think ours kicked in basically that Friday when the state just said, "You're done.
Yeah.
Go home."
Yeah. And we just came out of spring break for both kids. So yesterday was their first day back in the saddle of however their school has transitioned. We got 2 new notices from Xander's teachers about how they're transitioning the curriculum and whatnot. Piper's back in the saddle for her stuff too. It looks like she had a couple Zoom conferences.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Seemed
to get back in it.
I would think that for the kids, they kind of feel like they are missing their just to do something, right? Like I mean, I would imagine that gives them a nice reprieve from just being home.
Yeah, and it's hard too because they were both on spring break, so it's like the relaxation and reprieve of like school life didn't really get to happen because they, like to spend a couple hours of your day chillaxing in your beanbag chair or something in between something, like relaxing, and having downtime. When you can do that at some point during your normal day instead of being at a school desk, and then you're in spring break where you can do that too. It's like, well, it's not really a reward. I'm not really on a break because I was doing this last week too. Spring break. If every day has an opportunity for a spring break, did you really get a spring break? And I tried to get, get the kids like, and even Venus like up out of the house. I'm like, you can go outside.
Yeah.
The weekend was fucking amazing down here.
Yeah.
It was sunny. It was gorgeous. It wasn't too hot. Wasn't too cold. Tons of sun. Sunday we got everybody outside doing yard work, tons of yard work. I filled both Greenways cans. I felt accomplished, and now they're empty, and I'm going to fucking fill them up again.
I felt proud, I want to say, because we rototilled our backyard.
Oh.
Completely.
You have a rototiller, or did you
No,
rent
we
one?
had to go rent one.
Oh, okay.
And we filled our green can, and the lid wouldn't close.
Nice.
That's how full of shit it was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can get them out in spurts, but I can't yet. Like the telecommuter in me hasn't yet, I don't think, gotten through to the kids that you need to take a break and get up and not just walk to the kitchen or walk down the hall. Get outside. You have to actually get outside the building in order to like kind of get your mind to get a break.
I mean, that's common sense, but I think the problem is when there's this overwhelming standing thing that says everybody stay home.
Right.
It's
I
it's
certainly,
an oppressive sort of feeling of like, I mean, I want to go on walks personally, but I'm having a hard time finding the time or getting, like, what I want to do is go on a walk with the family.
Right.
And so finding the time and having everybody be in sync because they're all in this weird fucking funk.
Yeah.
And me saying, let's go for a walk doesn't necessarily mean or translate into actually going on a walk.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling from that regard, like finding the time, which is weird because I feel like I should have 2 extra hours a day of not drive time.
Right.
But yet I don't, because maybe an hour of that is lost in the morning that nobody knows about because
it's fucking magic.
It's early. Yeah, it is. It's like a fucking time suck. And like even tonight, like I knew that I had to be here for the show at 7.
Right.
Right. So I'm typically try to wrap up. I start early at 7:30. I want to wrap up all my work stuff by 4:30. So then I have the rest of the night to do dinner and clean up or whatever it is.
Right.
Well, tonight was like I wrap it up and I go out in the garage and Chandler and Shanna are working on this project in the garage and I'm out there and it's like, well, we got to kind of think about dinner. Next thing I know, it's like 6 o'clock.
Right, yeah.
And it's like, shit, we got to order food because I got somewhere to be at 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the time suck.
And I think a lot of that, too, is part of that I can see is, and it happens to me, is at the early start, it's making a schedule like you don't fudge that time when you need to leave AJA when you're traveling, right? There's no real wiggle room, right? You know when you have to leave because this is your time to leave because otherwise you're boned or, that's your schedule.
Right.
So there is a kind of like
there's a breakdown of time that's
right.
That's like
but
gooey.
Two, it's I'm at home. Things are more casual. Things are more leisure. I have wiggle room.
Yeah, it's
and
the gooey
it's
time
not
factor.
until you're like, I started at 7:30 today. I need to wrap up like I was actually going to be getting into my car at walking out the door here at 4:25 to 4:30 to get on the road. And then you need to I have space between 4:30 and 5 to do my walk. That is when I would be driving. And you almost got to set an alarm. It's like,
I know, but
everybody, let's go.
Yeah,
this is our free space.
Yeah.
It's like free time, but because you're like, oh, this is.
I'm already home,
and then all of a
so
sudden it just snaps out. You're done.
Yeah,
and then it's like 5, 6. What happened?
That's bizarre.
Where'd the time go?
Yeah. It's a weird thing, and being outside of your normal routine, that's part of it for me because my normal routine is to walk at lunch at work. So it's like I take lunch, and I don't eat lunch. I just go for a walk for like 35 minutes or whatever. And I don't have that time. I mean, I do, but I don't end up going on a walk. Right? It's like we end up chilling at the table and having a sandwich.
Yeah,
and I don't know. And then no, everybody's wearing sweats and like a sweatshirt or pajama bottoms, and it's like, well, I mean, I have to be done with this in like 25 minutes, and we could have gone for a walk,
Yeah.
but now
You almost need to just set like a thing. It's like Xander and PE, you know.
Yeah.
My lunch is just as fluid. Like you're at a location, so you try and you're pretty good about where you would take your walk if you were up at work.
Yeah.
My lunch, because I'm here, is it's
Whatever needs to be done for the day.
right. I'll walk into the kitchen, I'll grab something, and I'm eating it and doing work.
Right.
There is no real lunch break. Now,
Right.
don't fucking tell HR because, oh God, OSHA. But it just doesn't happen. There's no thing. But with Xander and PE, that doesn't work because I'm going out there and I'm making sure that he's going to do at least 20 minutes of something.
Yeah.
So I can't have him, if he's actually doing schoolwork at some point during the day, and say, oh, we're going to do this at 11, but tomorrow it's 12, and then some days we're pushing it to 2, because I'm trying to keep him and Piper within like a close to school day, and I don't want to stretch that out and have them like stop, start, whatnot. So we've set noon.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my lunch at noon. We're going to do your PE at noon. He only needs 20 minutes of stuff. It's good for me. He gets his stuff done. And it's an adjustment for me that normally it's like on the backside of what you have. It has forced me to put a break.
Yeah.
And for me, it's good. For him, I hope it's good because it's keeping him in a schedule. And now we're doing physical stuff during the day too.
Yeah.
So you would almost need to say, family.
I know.
If we're all here, this is when my lunch is. We should really all be getting.
Well, that's the other part of this too,
disconnect.
because family, half the time, people have, not necessarily Shanna, definitely not me, but the kids are going to bed way later than they should be. So they're sleeping later than they should be.
Yeah.
So there's this whole like, everything is like fucking topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
2:00 in the morning last night, Chandler apparently was burning a quesadilla on the stove.
Oh shit!
And I don't know if Melanie.
Beep.
Well, no, she was waving a thing at it to like keep it from going off because she was afraid she was going to wake us up. And do you think I would have been happy?
Oh, Mellie
was helping him.
Oh.
Yeah, Mellie was helping him to keep the smoke detectors from going off. Because apparently you just cook everything on high on the stove. You just put the burner on high and just cook everything on high.
Just nuke it.
Yeah. If it has an 11, it's going to 11.
Yeah.
That's Chandler's mode of operating. You know what I mean?
You didn't tell him about the fixed boiler though, did you? Because that'll get nasty fast.
Well, I mean, yeah, he was there when I fixed it.
Do it at 11.
We've had 2 repairs on the oven since I've been home. So I fixed the broiler.
Yeah.
And then we had out of nowhere, one of the burners just like the gas flow on it was super low, and I thought it was the valve.
Yeah.
And so we have our buddy Rick.
#hi Rick.
Rick. Probably doesn't. I don't even know.
No.
But anyways, contacted him, and he had a really good thought, which was to clean out. Basically it's a stub that comes up underneath.
It's the nozzle.
Yeah, and it's just got a hole in it. And he says, 9 times out of 10, those will get clogged with something, and it doesn't take a lot to knock the flow down.
Yeah. Because
I was ready to order like a $70 part for it that actually wouldn't have helped had I ordered it and installed it. So I did. I actually pulled the whole tube out and then blew in it, and something went out of it, and I went, oh.
Fucking A.
Yeah, and I put it back, and boom, burner back.
Turns out an appliance repair guy knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Absolutely.
And if you need someone to fix your shit, Rick.
Rick. Yeah, that was... I was happy about that because he saved me $70 and a bunch of hassle, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just like, everything's like upside down, like everyone's.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm sure it's different for you
up.
too, because my kids. It's a lot easier to say, we're doing this at this time because under 18 and daddy's daddy. Your kids are fucking adults.
One of them lives in Fullerton and is now living at home, and she's struggling with that.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just like, also,
sup, bro?
Exactly. Also lived away and came
burning
home.
quesadillas.
Oh, come on, man.
Fucking datas. Hashtag hi datas.
And, it's like right now he is in the process. So Melanie, since she's been home, she usually does her homework like on the bed or whatever. And so we don't really have a desk for her in her room. And she's painted her room and her furniture's been rearranged. So now she has like some extra space.
Mm-hmm.
So looking for a desk now, because everyone's at home and everyone needs a desk of some kind for the most part.
Right.
It's like toilet paper. You just can't find desks anywhere that are like relatively decently priced.
IKEA?
I mean,
I
they've looked.
I don't know.
I mean, they've looked.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, a desk that they would like or that she would like. But so we haven't been able to find any. And it's not like we're out traveling or whatever,
right?
To like go to IKEA because that's like, half an hour away or whatever. So, they found a desk thing on Pinterest that was made out of an old pallet. And so they're knocking this out right now. Literally right now. They're in the garage at home working on it.
Is that the picture he had sent us in our hangout? He had something.
Had like a fold down desk?
I don't know. He had something going on with the vacuum, and your car was parked in front of it. Is that what he was building? He didn't. I don't think he said what it was. He's like, "Look what I'm building," and then Mike told him to lick his nuts or something.
Yeah. That's how those conversations go.
Yeah, and Dave was like, "Okay."
So basically,
I got peanut butter. What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, it's a pallet. And you know how there's like 2x4s in the middle of the pallet? So there's 2 2x4. You add a 2x4, so it's like shelves.
Okay.
And it hangs on the wall. And then you put like a hinge with a desk surface that would come out. And that's held up by a chain.
Okay.
And it just hangs on the wall. So you have shelving and a desk. And the desk can fold up and out of the way.
Where'd you find the pallet?
Right next to Thunder Valley Casino, they have pallets there you can buy for $10.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you just go Bulgart?
Well,
but you found one.
Yeah.
You bought one.
Yeah, we went and bought one.
Are they like
for $10?
Formerly holding toilet paper or
probably?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
used.
Yeah, they're used.
Dude, the amount of stuff on Pinterest like to repurpose a fucking pallet is amazing.
It is.
That's
planters and all.
Oh yeah, like hey, you want to build a Cadillac? You can do that with all you need is a fucking small block and 10 pallets. What?
No, you don't even need the small block. You can still make that out of the pallets too.
Yeah, wind power.
Yeah.
Put a sail on it.
You just fucking Flintstone the floor and you're good to go. Exactly. So yeah, that's what they're doing. But that's weird. Literally, Shan's like, they found some piece of furniture, and it doesn't have to be super nice. That's the thing. So that it's like anything cheap. So it's like, I get a message from her. I'll go to Walmart to pick something up. The desks are supposed to be there. It says they're in stock on the app. Oh shit, go! And so I'll walk over, and there's fucking nothing there. Literally nothing there. I'm like.
This app lies.
Yeah, I FaceTime her and I'm like, this is the piece of shit desk and here's the shelving underneath it. It's fucking empty.
Yeah.
There are none,
Yeah.
Well, can you go to customer service? It's like, they're going to tell me they don't have any because they don't.
Yeah.
And then I go to customer service just to make,
Yeah.
And it's like, well, sometimes the app isn't updated as quick and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, If do you have any in the back? Do you think? Well, no, I mean that stuff goes out as soon as it gets here, so we don't have room for that in the back, so it has to go out.
Well,
and it's like, well, okay,
thank you.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Your app guys suck.
Yeah,
but anyway, I like you.
Yeah, can you figure this out?
Yeah, could you send me an SMS when you get more toilet paper? Thank you. Okay, bye bye.
So I don't know. They just went down this like path. We went to Lowe's or Home Depot and bought a bunch of stuff. I would rather go to Lowe's, but Chandler's a Home Depot guy.
Yeah. So you don't want to do Home Depot anymore?
I don't.
No.
I don't like Home Depot.
Oh yeah, we've had that talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Lowe's most of the time, but he's a Milwaukee guy.
Yeah, I got words for that. None of which are appropriate, because I enjoy all types of sponsors. And if you'd like to sponsor the show,
except Home Depot,
yeah, except for Home Depot, I'm a Lowe's man.
Now,
hashtag hi Lowe's.
What would you do if Home Depot was like, "Hey man, we heard your show, we kind of like it. I mean, we heard what you said. We didn't really like that too much, but we were thinking about a sponsorship deal. What would you think about that? And what would you say?
I would turn it down.
Oh, you wouldn't even ask me? You'd be
No.
like, nope. Hey, by the way, Jim,
Yeah. By the way, hey, you
I
want
turned down a lucrative Home Depot.
man, we were going to
sponsorship.
get $500 gift cards, but I was like, fuck you, Home Depot. You'd be like, Daddy needed more paint.
Now, $500 gift card from Home Depot to us just takes away what they would have done with that money otherwise.
Right.
That's how I kind of look at that.
Oh.
See where I'm headed there?
Could you trade? You could go to one of those like online places and trade it for $500 gift card to Lowe's.
Exactly. Yeah.
What a concept.
Oh.
Well, then maybe.
And then you're
If
like,
it was a gift card, I might
thanks to,
entertain
our, thanks to our Home Depot sponsors, and it's a bunch of products only available at Lowe's.
it. Yeah.
Oh, geez. We're desperate.
Wow.
Anyway. So,
Have you noticed anything in stock at stores on your last set of grocery shopping?
I think I did our like a big trip, semi-big trip to Walmart, and they actually had napkins.
Yes, ours did too. We went grocery shopping Sunday,
Yeah.
and the aisle that we just checked just to check it now because they had restocked the paper plates, the plastic utensils, the things that like why would these have been hoarded? The things that were you wouldn't imagine
Now
why
is-
would those have left the shelves that did.
Yeah.
They had restocked those.
Do you think
And
those
there
are
were-
being hoarded, or it's just because people are home and they need it? I think we just have like a huge eating out culture, right? In general, like a lot of people just go out to eat.
I could see that, but who doesn't have dishes?
Well,
And
sometimes
if you're
you just
that
don't want to
desperate,
do
you
them.
only need one fucking plate.
Well, I
and
mean-
the amount of ramen that was gone and is
Oh,
still
that's
gone,
weird.
it's like you aren't cooking ramen on a fucking paper plate. Well, there were napkins, and I saw no toilet paper, but there was like it looked like the red-headed stepchild, like it was just like a couple stacks of like the 100, and that was all that was there. It was like fucking Mad Max of paper products,
Yeah.
and there was napkins. And you're like, well, clearly someone's done wiping their classy ass
with napkins.
with the napkins.
Well, I did find, I think it was a 6-pack of Bounty paper towels. And
No.
it's kind of like,
Like I said,
we got a
Venus
couple
went to
rolls, but-
Costco last week, and
yeah.
they had it. There was no
No big deal.
it was no big deal.
Maybe most
now
of
the
it's
grocery
over.
stores, I'm not quite sure what the deal with the grocery stores is. We did see I had a thing about this. It was did you see the news stuff that was going around about how the dairy farmers were having to dump milk
What?
because things were shutting down? Cows aren't stopping
Right.
being milked. So they were having, because the supply chain of getting the milk into containers and containers
all
out
broke
to
down?
right. So the whole chain. So instead of having the milk spoil, they were literally dumping milk into the gutter. The first or second week of the self-isolation stuff, milk was one of the things that was like limit 2 per whack.
Yeah.
Eggs and obviously if you could get TP, that was in there. That was gone this week. I'm like, well, that's good because as someone that saw the news headlines of dairy farmers having to dump milk and yet there's still milk available in the store, I have a hard time trying to quantify. Listen, you can't limit me milk and yet dump it and expect me not to question why.
But it doesn't make any sense to buy a shitload of milk because it's going to spoil.
That's going to spoil too.
I mean, you got to be going through a shitload of milk.
We used to freeze milk.
Well, I mean, that's fine too, but I mean,
I don't know who
most
has
people
those size of
freezing-
freezers, but
I
yeah.
do, but
Yeah, I have a second freezer too. First world problem.
second freezer, second fridge.
But yeah, milk and it's one of those things where I'm like, well, with the article, well, good. I'm glad you aren't limiting me to 2 of these because that was,
That's just a weird.
like trying to sell me on a supply demand problem
Yeah.
when I just saw a news article and you turning a faucet, not you, but dude turning a faucet and milk is just straight up coming out of the vat into like the gutter. I'm
Boss, you want me to do what?
yeah, I want you to get down there and turn the faucet on and point into the gutter.
Wait, you want me at what again?
Yeah.
Oh, that's 500 gallons of milk. I mean, what the fuck?
In the gutter.
Oh,
Damn.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Those
Like-
sad cows.
Yeah.
Sad cows are sad.
Oh no.
My baby food.
It's all gone to waste.
Yeah. You sucked my teat for that?
Teat for gutter.
My nipples are all sore and you're just dumping it down the drain?
Yeah. God. Anyway, so yeah, I did see Napkins as well.
Well, what is blowing my mind is how oppression felt my Safeway has become. I don't even like going in it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got all the normal stuff is like just empty, like all the paper, like toilet paper, all that stuff is empty. The Clorox wipes, all the cleaning supplies are wiped out. We've gone through like at first all the bread was gone, and that's all coming back. But
Right.
things like eggs are almost always gone. There's a bunch of other things that are always gone. All the pasta aisles like demolished. The thing that's starting to worry me is I can't get garlic, regular cloves of garlic, like just the garlic thing. It's gone.
Really?
There's no garlic. I went in there the other night. No avocados. The like onions are picked over. It's like they're not replenishing. It's like it's not. I don't know.
I've totally missed that. Although,
I go to Rayleigh's though,
yeah.
and they got shitloads of stuff. They got They have avocados. They got garlic.
Okay,
and I'm
so
just like,
maybe it's just where I'm going.
what is happening?
Because I think I'd mentioned this in one of our hangouts of the week. I was talking with a friend who's North Carolina, and he was mentioning how hard it was to get produce. I'm like, I'm not seeing that. And he's like, yeah, squash are gone. There's
we
no
are in
squash,
California.
and they're limiting 2 heads of lettuce per, no bag salads. And he's like, no, you can't get like gourds. You can't get squash. Had potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed that, but the first or second week of the lockdown, potatoes just gone.
Oh, I didn't.
Potatoes were
notice
gone. Then now there's tons of potatoes. But I'm like, I was, talking with this gentleman. I'm like, really, produce? That's I'm like,
that. Well, we're in California. I mean, a shitload of
what's the new
things
thing?
are grown here, right?
The nation state is what we're calling ourselves.
Yeah.
I believe it. We're what, the 5th largest economy?
5th or 6th largest economy in the world. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
bitch, we grow our own avocados.
But part of that is our produce industry. I mean, we
Yeah.
have shitloads of farm. The whole Central Valley here and all over the rest of the state and on the coast, there's a ton. The Central Coast, tons of farms and stuff. So I'm surprised that we would have a struggle.
yeah.
And I mean, if it was all the grocery stores, that'd be one thing. But it's just like Safeway.
It seems like some suppliers have a different
Or something.
connect.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Because we were in there one time, and I'm like, you guys don't have any garlic, And then she's like, my checker was like, oh, no garlic? And I'm like, no. And she turns like the lady back in the grocery, I think it's one of the managers. She goes, yeah, no garlic. And I'm like,
You're like,
oh,
well,
okay.
fuck.
I looked for like 3 minutes
They
around.
have like the minced stuff in like the jars.
The only one I could find is the little jars of like roasted garlic that's like packed in oil.
Yeah.
That's it.
Huh.
And it's not even fresh garlic. It was roasted.
How bizarre.
Totally weird.
Huh.
Normally, there's fucking piles of garlic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see trucks full of garlic.
Wait, Gilroy?
Yeah, Gilroy. South,
Is that south of us?
Bay. That's
Yeah.
like south of San Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy shit.
Is it garlic festival?
Yeah, we've been there. Have you ever gone to that?
No. That's a little too much for me.
Oh, too many people.
Yeah, that too.
Oh.
The garlic's a
Oh, you don't like that
I
much
would
garlic?
I would,
Well, we went
try
'cause
the garlic ice cream. Okay, listen, fucker.
I don't
No.
want to. eat garlic ice cream. I want all the other stuff like fettuccine Alfredo or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the stuff I want to try. But I digress.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these are all the struggles that are real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How's work been?
Works?
Are you hitting
There's times where
pass
I'm
through
just,
the cylinders? Are you
yeah.
getting?
Yeah.
Is that you or me? I can't
That's
tell.
you. Mine's in my pocket. But my phone is also buzzing.
Must be. Oh.
It's Hangouts.
Wow.
No, but I've been, I'm working off of this like fairly large test plan, and I'm just like, I think I spent 5 or 6 days working on one thing.
Yeah.
And by the time I got done with that, which I think was yesterday, I was like, I'm so done. I'm done with this. What I'm doing.
Yeah.
It was very arduous.
Is it something that was more complicated by being at home and not having?
Oh,
no.
No.
It was just the project itself.
Yeah, just that part of it is very tedious.
So, has there been any struggles that you've noticed or things that have fallen from having a lot of people adjusting to, or has the company, do you get like a consensus that people are making it happen, even though they're having to adjust to being not at the office?
So I went into the office, was it last week sometime? I think it was last Tuesday, so it was before last show.
Mm-hmm.
Went into the office and was there to basically pick up some equipment to bring home, and part of that was picking up some stuff for another guy, which I was going to be meeting and dropping things off. So I got to go into both buildings and see what was happening in both buildings.
Yeah.
First of all, the building that I'm in, there's only like 3 people in
Crickets.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's like nobody there. It's really weird. Middle of the fucking workday, no one's there. And then I go to the other building, which is got on the bottom floor is like manufacturing. The top floor is like support and like our like CEO's office and the president's office and like HR and order entry and all that kind of stuff. They're all in that top floor.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to that top floor. So I went through the downstairs to the upstairs and then across the upstairs to the other side to find something on somebody's desk.
Yeah.
That person wasn't there. So it's like I'm just going in some guy's cube that I don't even know who it is.
Right.
I don't even know if I've ever met the guy or not. I didn't even recognize the guy's name. And I'm picking up a couple boxes and I'm walking around. There's fucking nobody there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I happen to walk by HR and I look in and there's like one of the support guys is talking to one of the HR ladies just bullshitting. And I'm like, oh, there's people here? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
guess I should put my pants on.
So then it was like I went and talked to them for a bit just to say hello. And I'm like, this is all weird. And they're like, that's the word. It's all weird.
How bizarre.
But they are doing like a split shift sort of thing with manufacturing. Still, they're still getting stuff out the door. And I'm hearing interesting stats about what's getting hit on the website, which is really fascinating, considering it's all streaming stuff. Like all of our streaming products have been getting hit really hard.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. And that they were saying that the sales on those were pretty good.
Good.
So that's, I mean, that's really fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
I guess the big problem is that, like our ability to get things out the door is lessened slightly because of the split shift kind of thing we have going on.
Right.
And then the other big problem is like we can get stuff out the door, but getting paid from all these people is one of the big problems.
Yeah, I was talking about that with Venus on our way over to Rodan's, who owns a small business himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it qualifies as an essential business, pest control.
Yeah.
So he's got, a team of guys under him that are continuing their job. And, the first week and 2 weeks, you're like, it's good to be able to say, I have a job.
Right.
Right. But as we hit the first, there's an interesting dynamic that starts to happen. And that is the people who are not essential workers who may have been furloughed or laid off or didn't have a job and, were using some other or gig workers who were using that form of income to make payments. Now his business, who is able to employ people, he's starting to run into a potential problem here in the next 2 weeks or so where he can't.
His influx is less than his
he can't
out.
pay the guys who actually have a job because his source of the income isn't coming in because non-essential workers aren't getting paid.
Right.
And so now you're in this. We're probably 2 to 3 weeks out before it starts to get
collapse.
Yeah. The businesses who thought they were okay because they're actually employing people, now the work is there, but they can't employ the people without some of the congressional loans and whatnot that's going around for small businesses because their customers can't pay.
Right.
And so, and if you're a customer of someone that, it's hard to say where you would put pest control on your list of things that you need if you're getting if you're in the income brackets that's getting the stimulus check. But I would have to think, and I would respect, that food and rent are going to come before probably the extra mitigation service of a pest control service, or maybe a pool cleaning, or lawn care, stuff like that. I'm sure lawn care people are probably almost in the same boat.
Yeah,
it's I can't. I need to make sure I've got pennies and hope that I can get fucking toilet paper when they stock it,
right.
or ramen, or chicken, or or pay my rent.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've been staving off that part of the financial problems until probably April, May. May 1st is probably when a lot of that is going to come to a head.
Well,
if not,
I think even
closer.
Think about like every restaurant that has servers. Those people are not working.
Right. Yeah.
Those people that are making minimum wage with tips, they're not working. So you're even so like we've done some takeouts from different places,
mm-hmm.
right? Like we talked about Chili's, and I think we did an Olive Garden and like Chipotle, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So even the places that have servers, they're doing takeout, but it's nowhere on the scale of how many tables they would run in a given night.
I'm sure probably not even close.
And then even in addition to that, I mean, it's not like the tips off of takeout are as good as the tips for tables.
Right.
They do have some amount of people who are running food out to cars, but it's nothing like. So I mean,
right.
you're all the scale has come way down, right?
Right. And a lot of times too, like the early part of this lockdown, like the goodwill of the people who've been trying to go above and beyond where they can financially to do extra tipping for people who are, a wait staff who are running stuff out to the car where they would probably get a bigger tip if they were actually serving you at a table. The people that were going above and beyond where they could, as we get closer to that nexus of other people can't pay you, can't pay them,
mm-hmm.
I can't get paid either. Like I said, it starts to trickle down and get complicated really fast.
Yeah.
And I did see something along the restaurant line. Venus had pointed out, it was an article from like a not as bigger chain like Chili's. It was like a local, I'm going to think like something off of Vernon, like a smaller,
like Carmelitas.
A smaller restaurant, and it was if they were essentially saying if you ordered through one of the to-go companies,
mm-hmm.
that if possible, if you were happy with the meal,
mm-hmm.
that to order it directly from the restaurant, because they're essentially breaking even, if not taking a loss, at leveraging the service of a delivery service like an Uber Eats or Food Jets or whatever, whoever does the food. They take enough of, the DoorDash. Because they're taking a loss. So they're hoping that your initial purchase or entry into the restaurant and getting it delivered to the house, that if you liked it, you'll either pick it up, or in some cases, if the actual restaurant has like a server that's being repurposed as a delivery person,
Right.
that you try and almost keep it in-house,
Right.
because then they don't have to share a cut or profit with the delivery service.
Yep.
They'd almost prefer you go to the restaurant. It's like we're small, and we're doing our best too, but we're using the delivery services almost as an entryway into homes, hoping that when you come back for the second or third meal, if you can, you do it direct and help them cut a profit.
I think that's interesting because, like Chipotle, for instance, you can order direct on their website, but I think they use a DoorDash service on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're ordering direct, like through their app or whatever, it's coming from a DoorDash, like they have a partnership or something.
Yeah.
So some companies they're just a little bit different, but I don't mind going and picking up my food.
I don't either.
In fact, it gives me a nice chance to be out of the house.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
If
stretch the
nothing
legs.
else.
Well, over the weekend I put the blow-off valve in the RS.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it.
Does it blow off?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
You like it?
Yeah. Well, it allowed me, when you see like the stock part versus the billet,
beefy new one. Yeah.
You're like, oh, plus it's adjustable, so I can keep a certain amount of pressure in the line.
Is it like a wrenching adjustment, or is it like a digital adjustment?
It's a mechanic, wrench.
Mechanical.
I have to get in there with an Allen wrench.
Okay.
So I can see. I mean, it's not drastic, but as someone that's an enthusiast and knows his car, I can tell. And I went in a couple extra cranks to keep the boost in there a little bit longer.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's
a difference. Now, we won't talk about how I got it here, because that would probably be, and I'm sure I'll be putting the stock one in to make sure I'm compliant with California emissions law.
You've already said too much.
Yeah, probably. But I put the stock one back in.
You sent it back.
But I did a series of recordings too, and I could probably show you those recordings after. But,
of the part that you sent back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I am within all of law emissions controls. There was it's there.
Yeah.
And I was telling Chuck, when he had mentioned that, you drove this, I'm like, I put this part in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to go over here and, work on some networking stuff for the house. I'm like, we're going to take the fucking RS. And
I want to hear some psh.
Yeah. So now I got, I put it in track mode, and I get the pops and crackles, and I get psh.
Nice.
It's hot.
it doesn't, I'm just like, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever.
I didn't have it on the Subaru.
Yeah.
I had one on the Eclipse.
Are there not blow-off valves that are California compliant?
No, it's one of the it's an aftermarket blow-off valve. If you were to buy it from a vendor that's sourced, I believe, in the States, they won't deliver it here. You certainly can't vent to atmosphere.
Well, because that's basically exhaust gases going straight out, right?
It is. And the existing one does it as well. So the stock does that. It just doesn't do it
loudly,
right? The blow-off valve, I didn't remove or add functionality. The air already exited the car. This is just tunable, and it's, because it's an uncontrolled amount of emissions from where the factory has set the accepted permissions or emissions from the system itself, it's no-nos. It's a no-nos. Could I put a plate on there and have no exiting of gas? Yeah, but they probably wouldn't sell you that either, because then you're still changing the emissions of the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds nice. It's awesome.
Now, my understanding, and don't get me wrong or call me a noob or nothing like that, but my understanding is blow-off valves make no difference in performance.
In performance?
Yeah.
It's
just
you're
to
not,
hear it.
No, this is not This one that is not the case.
Oh.
Like I said, I can adjust the spring.
Okay.
So as it builds up pressure, right? And,
Only a
and then when
certain
you,
amount of pressure comes out.
right, when you you let off the gas, and because you're putting pressure in the line, that creates pressure in the manifold, and it needs somewhere to go.
Yeah.
So in those cases, it vents
Right.
to prevent a lock.
Right.
This, it allows you to adjust how much pressure and how long it holds that pressure in the line.
Okay.
And what it can do, and the thing that I said I can notice, is that so the turbo lag, as you go in and out of the accelerator and going through the gears, you'll notice, depending on where your
it's spooled.
right, it'll spool a little quicker. It is not fucking pulling 10, 15 horsepower on the dyno kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you would, if you adjusted it, like mine is adjustable, you would notice being able to get back into boost, like
quicker.
Do you have a boost gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would notice,
Mine, it's a digital boost gauge.
yeah, you would notice
Just see
the
numbers.
needle not necessarily getting back down to null pressure or a negative pressure and then back onto boost.
I got you.
As you got higher.
So
Now,
you might stay at 5 or 8 or whatever.
right. Some, like a direct replacement without adjustment, some you would not see anything, and it's just purely for a more audible
Just a
psh or a flutter or something. This one, and I wouldn't do that either. I don't care about this. I mean, the sound is gravy in the mashed potatoes. But because it's adjustable, it allows me to control and tune a little bit more that turbo lag
right.
and a throttle response.
Right.
I would have certainly felt guilty and a little stupid if I couldn't feel it, because that wasn't really my goal. That's
Right.
a happy byproduct.
Okay.
But I can tell you that the throttle response was there. But that's not the case for every blow-off valve. Some of it is just purely fucking knuckle dragging, stupid. Like, hey, check out my sound.
I mean, if you had kept it.
Right. Had I kept it,
Right.
It doesn't sound that way anymore. It's quite silent because the stock one was put back in.
Absolutely.
I'm to code.
Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
Totally.
Well, I don't know. I don't think the Cadillac warrants a blow-off valve. It seems weird.
It helps keep it stealthy, but I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like it's like the pops and crackles.
Yeah.
For me. It's like hitting a power cord kind of thing. It's like it wasn't something that I ever had in any of the cars I've ever owned. All of which
or California compliant.
Yeah, right. The last couple were turboed. They didn't do the pops and crackles.
Yeah.
But the ones in the RS, it's
you got that.
I have it.
Yeah.
And it is just one of those childish, giddy feelings that makes you feel like I'm a race car driver. It is so juvenile, but it feels so good.
You're in Data's territory now.
I paid for my part.
You didn't steal it off someone else's car?
I didn't steal it or charge it on credit.
Oh.
It's just one of those things. And it's quite possible that you wouldn't know it either. But if you knew that you could tighten up the throttle response, and that as a byproduct, it made a more audible sound, but you knew that there was performance gains there, maybe.
Yeah.
And not all of them. Some of them have just like you can just recirculate it. So not all of those are the choo-choo, some of them are recirculating. So you don't necessarily have to get the juvenile to get the tunable.
Let's just say,
hypothetically,
if that was in your rig and you had to go get your car smog, because at some point, like in the future, it will need to have smog.
Right.
Does that mean that you would have to remove it?
I would remove it.
You'd have to put the original back in place.
I would probably put it back in just to make sure.
Okay.
Not that
Because most of it now, I think, is visual inspection stuff.
probably.
They don't dyno them anymore, as far as I know.
I don't know 100% because it's been so long since I've had to have.
I mean,
something
they don't.
smog.
You know, they used to dyno them, stick shit up the tailpipe.
Yeah.
The last couple I've had done, they don't do that, or they haven't.
And it might be one of those things too, because it doesn't necessarily pop off at idle. It would have to be on because it needs the spooling.
Right.
Like if I were to just,
You got to build up the pressure.
yeah, if I were to just hit the gas sitting not in gear, it doesn't. Psh, psh, psh.
Yeah.
You have to have resistance
Yeah.
in the system.
Sure. Just like in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Resistance.
Yeah. Well, Ray Skywalker.
You know, have you heard that song from Primus? Jerry was a race car driver.
Yes.
Your new name is Jerry.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fun as fuck to drive.
That car is a monster. That car is spine-curdling how tight the suspension is. That's what I most note about that car, is how stiff the suspension can be.
I'm going to get very adult. Piper, if you're listening, you need to stop listening. I love... Hashtag sorry wife. I like putting it in track mode, and California roads are so bad. I like putting it in track mode because it tightens up. The suspension is so tight, and then like looking over and watching boobs.
Oh
yeah, it's like
right. Yeah.
Yeah, please, Piper, you should have tuned way back and stopped off. Hi, wife. But she knows. She'll like see like she's like, are you in? Did you tighten it up? And I'll just kind of like give the side eye, like,
You did put on that low cut shirt.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
of course.
halter tops. What?
Can you just put this bikini top on?
Yeah,
We
like
got to go to the store real
Yeah,
fast.
between the pops and the blow-off valve and the tightening of suspension to watch boobies.
And the
just,
jiggles.
It's just so juvenile. I'm such a fucking kid.
You are suddenly 22.
Oh, yeah. Boobs.
That's what it all ends up being about, right?
It's pretty much, yeah.
Boobs. How we doing on time?
It's 1:01.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you are sticking with it, and hope you're mentally okay.
Yeah.
It's important.
Go look out. I hope you have an opportunity to just not only just change your posture, but try and get outside. You need to look at something besides the four walls inside the house. Trust me, you need.
Well,
there's
there's no shock in hearing about the stats that Sarah #HiSarah posted earlier about the call volume in places that help people.
Yeah.
And not doctors' offices, but like psychiatrist type.
Yeah. Helplines.
Yeah. It's a unknown thing that everybody's going through, and we just have to try and support each other and do what we can.
Yeah, and I think we're in 2 weeks or so where we're going to get another update, at least from what they're saying, like the West Coast Coalition between us, Oregon, and Washington.
Yeah,
to get another update. It looks like they've got a plan. You have to go with what they're saying.
Headed by President Newsom.
Yeah. Head of the West Coast Federated States.
That's right.
Yeah. So we hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. We'll be here for you every Wednesday.
Yeah. Hope we put a smile on your face.
Maybe it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week.
All right. Have a good week.
Bye.